Welcome to this video. This video is gonna be about rebuilding the engine of a Polaris XC700, rebuilding and tuning. So yeah, here we have the upper part of the crankcase, where the reeds are here, and the cylinders are on top here. And I have ported the crankcase. I can include a picture of how it was before, but basically there was a big edge here, so yeah, smoothing that out. I mean, I'm not done, but it's much better. Yeah, I'm gonna include a picture on the screen. And unfortunately, the crankshaft needs rebuilding, or the inner bearing needs rebuilding, because the outer ones are fine. Wait, I'm gonna pick it up. Wait. So yeah, the outer bearings have like no noise. Well, this one has a little noise. This one is fine, but the inner bearings have noise and a play, and this one is really bad. Really much play and noise. And that is because the oil pump pumps oil to the outer bearings there, and yeah, there are oil channels in the crankcase to the outer bearings, but not to the inner bearings. So they get oil from the carburetors, because the pump pumps half the oil to the outer bearings and half to the carburetors. So the inner one gets much less oil than the outer ones. So next I'm gonna remove the oil pump and just pre-mix the oil in the gas tank, because then it is, you know, it's always oil everywhere in the engine, and the same amount. It's not less on the inner ones. But that's unfortunate, because I need to, it's much more expensive to build a yeah, and here is the cylinders. They also need boring, because that is a big crack in the cylinder wall, like it's very deep. I'm also gonna build twin pipes to it. So this is the drawing for the twin pipes. Yeah, one pipe for each cylinder. So they're gonna be like that long, and this is the dimensions. It's the hard part is gonna make it fit inside the engine bay. Yeah, this is the other cylinder. It has scratches too, but not as deep. I also have another reason to remove the oil pump, and it's because of there is a cover on here. This is the alternator, and it drives this is the water pump, and it's driven by a belt. And on in this yeah, place, the oil pump sits outside and gets spun by that. But the oil pump, the threads on the cover for the oil pump is horrible. There are two screws. One isn't even, you can't even use one, and the other one is really bad. It was like that when I bought it, so it could fall off at any moment, and then like the whole engine would seize. I may be gonna replace the bearings to the water pump, because it sounds like that. Also, for this one, to remove the magnet, you need to have a puller. You could buy this, but I just made one. Took a plate and bored some holes, and welded a nut on, and used a bolt to just pull it off. So yeah, that's the other reason to remove the oil pump. This is the progress right now. I've built these pipes in metal, and up here and here is cardboard. just to see how I'm gonna build the rest of the pipe. I've also not welded the rings together so I can move them and change the angles a bit. This is the flange. It has like 2 millimeter thick steel, just because it's really hot there and it needs to be strong. I'm gonna use these copper rings in here, and they seal up against that. I don't know if that's going to be enough to hold in the pressure, and I'm gonna have springs that hold it, because otherwise when the motor and the pipes vibrate, the pipes break and vibrations destroy the resonance in the pipes, so that is not good for power. And also you can't build the pipes too thin, use too thin metal, because then you get vibrations and it destroys the resonance. So here it is 1.2 millimeter thick, and then I'm gonna build in 0.9 millimeter, and that is thick enough. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna make side pipes out here or make the silencers and they go down there. Side pipes would be pretty cool, but I don't know if I have the space here. I'm gonna use these to make the silencers. I'm not gonna have 2 separate silencers, because you get better sound and it's you get a little bit more power. So these are out of a car muffler. I'm gonna cut them down so they get smaller diameter. I don't know how much yet, but that is later when I build the pipes. So that is the progress on the pipes. I'm gonna also put the aluminum tape like everywhere where the pipes are close. Here it's pretty close. I don't want to melt the plastic. So that's the progress on the pipes. This is the Snowmobile. I have painted this. It gets and cut it down from like here to here, so it gets a much more racing look. I'm maybe gonna remove this krängningshammaren, because it's good on when you're driving fast and in turns on compact with snow, but when you're in deep loose snow it's better without them, and I'm maybe gonna remove them. I'm gonna build weld the iron that goes beneath the skis, because that have broken loose and it's rusting away. That I've made a new it's not screwed on, but one of these. This is the original. It's much shorter and much stiffer, and this is longer, so it's better, get better cooling, and it's cool when it hangs down, and it's when you're wheeling it's easy for it to go up. I also maybe gonna change the track, because I have another track that it has like these big. It's not much of a difference, it's a little bit longer, so I'm gonna have to make plates or buy plates. But I have a track, so sometime I maybe do that when I'm bored or something. So, and one of the cylinder I'm gonna send in one of the cylinders for boring, or just exchange it for another one, because it's of these air boxes. They suck in crap, in dust and shit, so it has really bad scoring, because it sucks in craps from these. airboxes, though they are not so tight. It has a plate here and stuff. This cylinder is just going in for a honing because it doesn't have any deep scratches. This is gonna get exchanged or bored up. These are Nikkasiel plated, so it's kind of expensive to send in both of them, so I'm just gonna hone this, send this in for honing. So that is the Snowmobile right now, and also the oil pump sits here. I'm gonna do premix now because the oil pump was, when I got it, the threads were destroyed on one of these holes and it could fall out, and then the motor would be done for. So I'm gonna remove it and do premix. These snowmobiles are kind of easy because you can just remove it, maybe put a plate here for looks, but you can just remove it. In some snowmobiles it sits here with a gear driven system, and it's much more complicated to remove. You need to fill the gears with oil and stuff. So that's pretty good.